Josh Allen had the same shot to change the way of the game in overtime as like we did on the couch. But he couldn't do anything.
As soon as overtime started, I could have been quarterback for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, and nothing would have happened.
And it would have ended the exact same.
Yeah, nothing could have changed.
Josh Allen was. It wouldn't have made a difference.
Welcome back to episode 22 of the Harvard Sports Podcast. I'm Austin.
I'm Noah.
And today we got a lot of things to talk about. We're going to talk about Davante Adams, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady potentially winning his 8th Super Bowl. We're going to talk about where some players are going to end up free agency and a lot more, right? That was good, right? That was kind of clean. I know. That's all right.
I didn't know we were talking about any of that, but all right, let's get it. I was just going to talk.
So, first I want to talk about is Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers. Their season ended yesterday, right? And people are now it's going to be the biggest offseason probably in Packers history, I assume. Because these are two of the biggest names in the whole Packers franchise that they've had. And two of the greatest duos of all time. I just want to know, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think Aaron's going to stay? Do you think Davante's going to stay? What do you think's going on?
Yeah, it seems like, we remember back before the season started when they posted the Last Dance photo
stuff,
of
yeah.
MJ and Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's... I would think that was their last dance.
Yeah, that's what
I know people bring up the whole... people say, the franchise tag, which obviously is a real thing, that Davante could get franchise tagged. Yeah. But I got to believe that if he wants out, they're not going to franchise tag him against his will if he doesn't want to play in Green Bay.
Yeah, because the stuff you hear is, they don't want another situation where, someone is pissed, right, and doesn't want to be there. Franchise tag the guy just for him to hold out, right? That's just, you don't want that to happen. You're just throwing away money at that point. Might as well just let him walk. Let whatever happens. Unless, there could be a thing with, they had a good season. I know every season's not good unless you win the Super Bowl, right? But they had a good season. Do you think that changes their mind at all with where they want to go?
What do you mean?
Making it to the playoffs? Do you think that changes their mind?
I don't think it's up to them. I think it's up to Aaron Rodgers. I think he's made it clear that he pretty much doesn't probably want to be there for another season.
Yeah.
I think they would like for Aaron Rodgers to be in their back pocket as long as they can keep him there, but I don't think he wants to be there.
Yeah, do you get that vibe from Aaron that he's a one-team guy, or do you think he's the type of guy that seems like he would stick up for himself more than other players? So he'd be like, "Yeah, you're disrespecting me, I'm going to leave."
I think he wanted to be, up until this last year or two or 3 years ago, he probably wanted to be a one team his whole career type of guy. Yeah. But also I think has a strong personality and doesn't want to feel disrespected or whatever.
You saw through all this the COVID stuff with him, you saw he stayed pretty true to his convictions. He doesn't really let people sway what he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? He's going to speak what he believes. I do think that Aaron Rodgers probably with the quarterback has more say in where he's going to go than I'm guessing Davante, right? With the whole with a quarterback situation, I bet Aaron is going to be more widely accepted by other teams than a wide receiver who's going to want that much money.
Well, they'll both be. Aaron Rodgers is a free agent.
Aaron Rodgers is free agent. Right? I'm pretty sure Davante is too. Yeah. Yeah,
as long as he doesn't get franchise tagged. But Aaron Rodgers can. I think both of them could if they both clear free agency, then I think they can both pretty much go anywhere they want.
They could even end up just going together if they really wanted to.
Yeah, if they wanted to. It's just a matter of any team that needs a quarterback
is going to be looking at Aaron Rodgers.
Because on one hand, if you're a team where you're quite a few years out of a playoff appearance, then you want a young quarterback ideally that can build and develop. But also, if Aaron Rodgers is available, then why not?
Especially if you're a team that's like we've talked about the Niners before, where they're on the brink of they're doing it now with Jimmy G, who had an 11.9 QB rating out of 100 yesterday, which is insane. And they're doing that with Jimmy G. Any team that's almost there but just needs a quarterback would love to have Aaron Rodgers. Yes, we talk about that, and then some other free agency stuff that I was thinking about is so I got these names of wide receivers for you, right? And we can talk about where we think they're gonna go. But these are all 3 of these guys have been rumored by CBS Sports to be on the trade block, and that's Calvin Ridley, who for the Falcons, who we knew had that who earlier this season had problems with his mental health, and he took the season off, and then he came out a couple weeks ago saying that he would rather have a fresh start, and the Falcons said that they will agree to that fresh start this offseason. So we know he's probably gone. Michael Thomas probably gone because they had that dispute with he didn't get the surgery when the Saints wanted him to, and we know Amari with the ownership in Dallas that they aren't happy with his contract and with his overall production. So just thinking like, where do you think these guys are going to go? But I know Amari, like, the Raiders had the same problem, right? He wanted that big contract, and like they weren't happy with the drops and the production he was having.
Well, it's just tough because in Dallas, like, Amari could have had a bigger role, but then CeeDee Lamb comes in and is great. So it's hard to, when you have a young, great receiver like CeeDee Lamb, it's tough to look at Amari Cooper and be like, all right, he's our wide receiver one. Let's give him wide receiver one money when you have an up-and-comer like CeeDee Lamb.
And you have Michael Gallup there, too. So you had 3 1,000-yard wide receivers, and you know, like, one of them, like, you just give a massive contract to one, and like, if I'm Amari, as soon as they draft CD, I'm like, something's gonna happen. They must not like me, and they must not think like I can do it all, right?
No, I don't think so. I think Amari Cooper has always, if you're a wide receiver, you want to have other good wide receivers on your team. Yeah. I don't think you're thinking like, oh, I think you want to give Dak Prescott weapons.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a judgment on Amari Cooper.
Yeah, it's probably even, I guess you're probably right, but it's probably even better if it's like, I'm not gonna be like focused on the entire game. Right now I got guys around me who take some of the load off. You know, I could take a rep off, or I can, like, you know, not be the number one guy every time now. Yeah,
well, I mean, wide receiver is just a lot different position than like quarterback. Obviously Aaron Rodgers felt disrespected by them trading up to draft Jordan Love.
Yeah,
because you can only play one quarterback at a time. But wide receivers, you're playing multiple wide receivers. Yeah, you can play up to have good teammates.
Yeah, if you have like, at sometimes during the game, you can have up to 4 wide receivers on the field at one time, right? Like, there's going to be room to move around, and you're not like going to want to be all the corners just focused on you the whole time, right?
I'm glad you said 4, because that means that you've been running 4 verticals in Madden.
I just be good, but I'm in that franchise league with the family. I'm just getting cooked. I got cooked by my dad week 1, because I'm the Giants. He picked the Washington football team, so I play him week 1, and now I play him week 4, and he's just been texting me all day, like, you ready for tonight? I'm gonna freaking destroy you. I'm like, thanks, man. I'm just fighting for my life with Danny out here. But another guy, right? We talk about Michael Thomas, who the surgery thing. So he's probably leaving the Saints. And also, people are saying DK is gonna leave. But I could only see them trading DK if they're also trading Russ. Like, that would mean they're like restarting. Because people think like DK's on the way out and Russell Wilson's on the way out. Like, that would mean they probably would even fire Pete Carroll after that.
I think it's way too early to know anything. Yeah. Honestly, most of NFL free agency, I think it's way too early to have any idea what's happening with like any team.
Oh, basically. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I think it's all just kind of,
it's all gonna be speculation for a long time.
Speculation and conjecture, because I mean, football's still going on.
Yeah, the season hasn't even ended yet.
The draft hasn't happened, and there's a lot of time for a lot of things to change.
That's very true. Do you think we're gonna see? So I think it was a year or 2 years ago we saw the Rams and the Chiefs play each other in the playoffs, and it was like 49-54, and that was with Jared Goff. And would you want to see that as a Super Bowl? Would you ever see?
They didn't play in the playoffs.
Yeah, they did. No, they played before the season. Two different divisions.
2 different conferences.
Sorry, they played in the regular season. That was my bad.
Yeah, they played a primetime game. I think it was a Monday night.
Yeah, game. it was like with a massive scoring game, and that was with Jared Goff. So imagine if we saw that in the Super Bowl with Matt Stafford and Pat Mahomes this time.
Yeah,
I mean, we just want a Super Bowl in Los Angeles, but that'd be kind of sick because the Rams are playing in their own.
Well, the Super Bowl is in Los Angeles. Yeah, it's just a matter of if the Rams
can make it there.
Home. Yeah,
which like Matt Stafford's just cooking, man. So I think it'd be amazing. I'm excited for Matt Stafford too to finally get. Oh no, don't die.
You could have just kept talking, but it's cool. Whatever.
I'm excited for Matt Stafford just to finally get like his shot in the playoffs now. Now he's not on the Lions and stuck in Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see, and I think I've seen a lot of videos of like Lions fans that are just like really happy for Matt Stafford because he's been through all that time on the Lions and finally gets a shot to play in the playoffs. Just
to finally step out of that going like picking top 10 every year and just being sad the whole time. And not rip Jared Goff, because it was the LA boy, right? He like went to high school in LA and he went to college in LA and then he played in LA. He was like, oh, this is so sick, and then he gets shipped off to Detroit.
Did you switch? You switched chairs last
time?
Right?
I switched chairs.
It's just you, bro.
It's just me, man.
Maybe I just got a really good chair because mine doesn't squeak.
Yeah, it's your. Yeah.
Or are you just stressing and you're bouncing like?
It might be me because I lift my chair all the way up because I'm shorter than you. So maybe like, are you compressed down? Like, do I need to? All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Austin. Oh.
No, even up all the way, mine doesn't squeak.
Oh. What if I told you I went up all the way to the top for a second and my feet went like this? Like, there's the floor, a little air below it. I scoot up, I said, ooh.
In your legs.
I said, I gotta find my footing. Just like this. Do you ever think, like, with Tom Brady, we always think about him winning 7 Super Bowls, right? Potentially winning his 8th this year. Do you ever think about what the opposite would be, the guys that lose to him and, like, the careers he's changed, like, beating in the Super Bowl? Like, the Super Bowls that he's taken away. But that means, for, like, this past 20 years, however long, he's taken away, like, I think he's been, have been 11 times, but he's taken away 8 Super Bowl wins from people. Like, he's just taking, like, I have right here, like, he took one away from Kurt Warner, Donovan McNabb, Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan, Jared Goff, and he took one from Pat Mahomes last year. Like, so we always see the side of, like, he's winning all these Super Bowls, like, the good side for him, but we don't see the side where, like, he's taking these big things from these other guys, which I guess is just football, you know, only one winner. But it is interesting to look at, like, the guys who could be held in a higher light if they had, like, another Super Bowl win. Yeah,
no, it's weird to think about, like, if Tom Brady didn't exist, then how many Super Bowls would, like, some of these other guys
because it would be more dispersed.
Because when you have like a span of a decade where it seems like Tom Brady's winning most years, then it's like, I mean, theoretically there could be some guys that they're ending up with a lot more rings.
Because either you're like the last decade, whatever, has been either you're like losing to Brady in the Super Bowl or you're beating him in the Super Bowl, right? It's gonna be not
this year though.
Not this year. You think it's gonna end this? Oh, it did end this year. Why am I so confused today? Yeah, I guess and that whole thing came out with, like, we were watching during the broadcast. They came out and, like, Brady said to the production team, like, in private, like, I want to go out with a Super Bowl win, but I don't think it's gonna be this year. Which is,
I mean, he was right.
Yeah, so. I guess he was right. But, like, do you think that, like, causes any, like, fight in between the teams? Like, you think, like, his teammates are like, dang, why didn't you don't believe in us this year, man?
Do I think that a quarterback saying we're not going to win the Super Bowl at all this year would hurt morale?
Yeah. Is that what you're asking? I guess so. Because if I saw that, because people, when I, like, a lot of stuff we talk about today, you can go and look at our TikTok and, like, I post stuff like this all the time. But, like, when I post it, people are like, well, like, his teammates aren't going to see during the game that he said that. I'm like, no, but if they would have won that game, then the next game, they're like, oh, Brady, you don't think we're going to go all the way? Like, you're doubting us this whole time? Like, that would hurt for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You kind of have to be just ridiculously optimistic no matter what situation you're in. I mean, even if you're a, like, 7-10 team, you should still be like, oh, if we made the playoffs, we're winning it all.
Oh yeah, that's why all those, like, towards the end of the year, like, we've had it with Raider fans where, like, towards the end of the season, we're like, okay, we have to do all this to win. You know, it was like a miracle this year that we didn't, like, we just needed to win out. But these year, like, we need this guy to win, we need this guy to win, this guy to lose by 2, we need this guy to tie, and then we'll make the playoffs. Like, we're optimistic year round. But for, like, your quarterback to be like, oh, I just don't know if it's gonna be this year. Like, that's like, oh. Especially one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time saying that. You're like, what does he know, man?
A lot.
Yeah. I'm like, what does he know that I don't right now?
Did you know that this year is the first time in 12 years that the conference championships don't have Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady in them?
Oh.
That's kind of crazy.
I mean, it makes sense.
A sign that maybe the league is changing. But also, I don't know if it, because they're both still really good.
They're both still really good.
They're both one field goal away from being there. I mean, that's crazy that this weekend for all 4 games to end on a walk-off. I mean, that's like the best playoff weekend you could hope for.
Oh, this was one
3
of the
walk-off field goals, 1 overtime walk-off touchdown.
This has been one of the best, like, years for playoffs that I remember in a little bit. Like, a lot of these games have been great. Even, like, the Raider game came down to, like, the final play to tie it up. I mean,
with the exception of the Bills, well, I guess the Bills and the Bucks first games were kind of blowouts, but the rest have been really, really close. Yeah, the Steelers, I wish it was a little closer, but yeah, the other ones have been great. Like, that Buffalo Chiefs game is, like, probably one of the greatest games we've seen in a while. Yeah, no, definitely. If only the overtime rules were different. It could have been an even better game. I was just about to ask you about that. So what's your take on it? I think we both have the same idea. We want, like, you have these 2, like, probably top 1 and top 2 quarterbacks, right? You would hope that in overtime the NFL would give them both a chance with the ball in their hand. Yeah, which the entire game is a shootout. Yeah, like heading into overtime, you kind of feel like whoever gets
Oh, for sure.
Whoever gets the ball first is probably going to win this.
Yeah, it was 36-36 going into overtime. You're like, okay, so whoever gets this ball is probably going to score and probably going to win. Like, this coin toss matters a lot more than the usual coin toss.
Yeah, it's just I don't understand the argument for like why it shouldn't be like college
I don't get it either.
I mean, I don't know what the argument is to be made in favor of that besides just keep it how it is. It's not that bad, but
the way I think about it is like even if you want the defense right to be more emphasized and stuff like, and at the end of the day it does come a lot down to like the quarterback is who we want to see, right? We want the ball in the quarterback's hands. We want the ball in both of their hands.
Well, I've seen some people saying like, to say the Bills didn't have a shot or like that the Bills didn't get a chance is wrong because their defense had a chance to make a stop and then get the ball back. Which but that's a big disadvantage to have to have to stop them and then get the ball back. Especially, I think maybe it used to be where that system of overtime could have been better, but as the league is just so like offense driven now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Your teams just score so many points that I mean, to have it come down to having to force a stop is just really tough.
Either way I see it is like if the coin toss would have gone the other way, the Bills would have won, right? That's the way I see it going. Whoever got it was going to win the game. Yeah,
which is just a really bummer way for like a game to come down to where it's super highly competitive, great game, and then I mean it's a duel between Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen.
Yeah,
Josh Allen throwing for 5 touchdowns and no picks, over 300 yards. And then when it comes down to it,
he doesn't give you a chance.
Sitting there,
like people I see the thing where it's like Josh Allen had the same shot to change the way of the game in overtime as like we did on the couch, but he couldn't do anything.
As soon as overtime started, I could have been quarterback for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, and nothing would have happened.
And it would have ended the exact same.
Yeah, nothing could have changed.
Josh Allen was. It wouldn't have made a difference.
Like exactly what you were talking about, where it was like people were like, "Oh, did the coin toss let the Chiefs drive to the end zone?" I'm like, if it was the other way, you'd have said that. Would you have said the same thing, right? Like, would the Chiefs fans have been like would they be like, nope, these rules are okay, or would they've been like, I wish overtime was different, right? It's gonna be what team you're on most of the time.
Yeah, well, it really just doesn't make sense to me. Why not? You lose nothing by changing it.
Yeah,
or by making it like college rules. There's no downside.
And like we talked before, the overtime rules used to be a field goal wins it, right? The first point of the game wins it.
Yeah, which that would be really awful.
Yeah, you just have Justin Tucker go just kick from the 50.
But the thing is, even allowing like the first touchdown on the first drive of overtime to win it is it's easier to comprehend if it's a game where the final score is like 14-7.
Yeah,
or like it's a defensive shutout and like if you get a touchdown, you're probably going to win anyways. But when you're scoring 36 points in the game, both teams, then it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I just would like to see what the NFL's argument is for keeping the overtime the way it is. Because I don't understand what the argument would be to keep it the same.
Yeah, I mean, when you, especially, I don't know, you just have so many great quarterbacks and that you would love to see Josh Allen get a shot
and
to see what he can do.
And if you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, the NFL is like a money-making business, right? So you would think it would be in your best interest to let both quarterbacks play, just like monetary-wise, right? Like you're going to let both quarterbacks play. That's got to bring the views up, right? Like both quarterbacks getting a shot in overtime. You would think that would do something also.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I think they for sure are going to catch a lot of flack from fans saying, being very upset about it. So maybe they'll change it soon because I know everybody's complaining about the rules. But I don't know. I just think it's dumb to be like, well, the Titans should have stopped them. Like, yeah, they should have, but also like,
yeah, it's very rough. It's more rough on like an offensive side, I would think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Josh Allen or if you're Davis, who had 4 touchdowns, 200 yards receiving, then it's like, well, I can't get a shot to get a 5th touchdown.
Yeah, I can't just get one. Like, it's like I was having so much fun watching that game, right? Because it's like it went too much time left for Josh, and there was like too much time for Mahomes, too much time for Josh again. And there's like too much time for Mahomes again. I was like, dang, man, it's going back and forth and back and forth. Yeah. And I saw a stat that the Chiefs pulled off that whole drive in less time than Dak's QB run up the middle.
Dak's QB draw was 14 seconds. Their drive was 13.
That's so crazy, bro.
Hey, some teams are just better at clock management than
Some
others.
teams are just better, man. And
some teams do, and some teams don't run QB draws when they need a game-winning drive.
I saw also a stat that said Pat Mahomes is number 1 and Josh Allen's number 2 for the best quarterbacks rushing to get a first down on like third and long. So like you got to watch out for these guys, but they're so versatile, you know, like they can do so much. And we were even talking like with high schoolers nowadays, like we grew up watching like certain athletes, but now these guys are growing up watching like Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, like these athletes growing up have like these amazing superstars to watch now, you know, like they're going to model these games after these freak athletes now, which is going to be wild.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see if how the way that the quarterback is perceived like changes, because that's even like in basketball, people talk about, you see that already, like Steph Curry's impact of that people just pull up all the time or just shooting. So
like players in the league nowadays who are like our age, just pulling up and shooting now because they grew up watching like Steph Curry. So then what is the what's the league gonna look like in 10 or like 5 years when these guys are growing up having watching Lamar and all these guys?
Well, there's also always the question of people are like, because Lamar had that amazing MVP season, and a lot of people are saying like, oh, he's gonna have a crazy career. Then there's other people saying like, no way those numbers are sustainable, and the league is gonna figure him out. Like that's the term people use.
They figure him out every season. They
figure him out. So it'll be interesting to see like the extent to which that happens. Because I mean, if Lamar was figured out by now, then he wouldn't be playing.
And a lot of time I think about, I'm like, when I hear like the term like the league's gonna figure him out, like when I watch Lamar run, I'm like, this isn't like, a lot of the plays are designed runs, but like sometimes when he just takes off, like it's so improvised. Like how do you figure that out?
Well, it's tough because does figuring it out just mean you're putting a QB spy up every play? Because even
teams have tried that.
Get past your QB spy sometimes.
He's gonna be I guarantee that Lamar is faster than your linebacker.
It's easier to figure stuff out if it's like an X's and O's issue, where you're like, okay, this team is the way that they're doing screens or the way that they're doing this. We need to figure that out. And so you watch film, you figure it out. But somebody where it's just raw athleticism, where it's like there's no rhyme or reason. It's just he's avoiding tackles. And
it's like, oh, I figured it out. It's just God-given athletic ability.
I just need to like,
I
need to hop on the juice. I don't know.
I figured it out. We can't stop it. Like he's just built like that, dude. And then like, that is really true what you're saying, because like it's so much different than like figuring out an offensive scheme where it's like, oh, the Steelers, you know, they do their famous no huddle, right? And they're driving down the field. That's easier to figure out than just, if this guy is too long in the pocket, he's just going to take off and he's probably going to snatch all of us. Like that's a lot harder to figure out than our boy Big Ben trying to wind up a laser in his whatever year in the NFL.
That's true.
You want to talk about the NBA real quick and that stat you told me about your boy Westbrook?
Not really.
With the dunks?
No, I mean, it's just I think it's a sign of aging more than anything. That Russell Westbrook this season is shooting, I think 58 or 59% on dunks, on dunk attempts.
Dude, that's so wild to me. Like that is not in like the 90% of dunking. And then
I honestly didn't even, before I saw that stat, I didn't even think about or know that
they record like, shooting percentage of dunks.
Dunk percentage was even like a stat. So I don't know what the like normal, like what a normal athlete's dunk percentage should be, but I would imagine it should be very high.
And then we were talking about, or you said that like his dunk attempts were so low, so he's only going when it's open. So is he bricking these open dunks? Like,
well, I think it's just that he's having to, hopefully that he takes some time to learn to adapt his play style, because he's just getting older and he's not as big as some guys that can still get up there. So as he's getting older, it's tougher to still have the hops to quite reach the rim. Because I've seen it so many times where he goes up for a dunk, realizes, oh, I might not have the height, and then has to adjust to try to do a layup, which is just really tough.
I've seen those like charts all over Twitter and stuff where it's like Westbrook during the season, it's like the first couple months he's like, this is the worst player of all time, and then like for 1 month he goes, oh, and he goes, he's the best player of all time, he goes, oh, he's the worst player of all time again. Like he has these random spurts. It's like, that's the Westbrook I know, that's the one I remember, and then I'm like, and he's back.
Yeah, and some of that, I wonder how much is that now Russell Westbrook is just under such a spotlight right now.
Yeah, this is in LA.
Everything he does is magnified by him. Like he's had some rough games, and so now every time he like does something good or bad, people will be like like every single thing he does will probably be overreacted to.
Especially being in that like just looking glass of the Lakers and playing with LeBron. Like all eyes are on you. Like especially playing LeBron, who's known for trading guys who aren't working out. Everyone's gonna be looking at you. Lake Show Yo on Twitter just having the worst season of his life, just being depressed over this man.
Yeah, I'm trying to find like what LeBron's dunk percentage is for frame of reference. I can't even find that. I don't know where you find this.
It's perfect, bro.
It just says that's going in. it says get out of the way. Yeah, avoid the poster.
It just says that's clean. That's what we're talking about. When you made you were talking about Wilt on TikTok, and it was like, dude, if I was guarding Wilt and if he was coming at me, I'm going, and here you go.
Back in the 50s or 60s,
I'm going, good luck, Wilt.
If somebody said, all right, you're gonna guard Wilt Chamberlain in this game,
I'm like, all right, and there you go, right through.
Well, there was a year 1961 to 62 that Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50.4 points per game.
That's so wild, dude.
Like that's not.
And then we say like each game like averaged like 120 points, so they were like scoring. Like those games were just shootouts all the time, and no 3-point line.
Yeah, no 3-point line. So it was just a lot. I think people just didn't know how to play defense. Really, is what it was.
Well, they probably saw a dude dribbling for the first time and like, this is witchcraft. Like, like this can't be legal.
As soon as they saw somebody dribble between their legs and went, whoa!
All right.
So, all right, basket's right there.
But imagine 120 points a game, no 3-point line. It's just like, imagine if you're guarding in the paint. The center was probably my size back then. So I'm like, and dunked on. And I'm like, and dunked on.
Okay, but that's what I was thinking. But I was looking at it. The average person in the NBA back then was still like 6'6" or something.
Oh, so they were still.
So they were like.
So he was just cooking them for real.
The average size has not gone up. I was looking at the average size in height from then to now is pretty much the same.
Oh, yeah.
The average weight is like 15 pounds heavier. So people just got dense. People got muscular.
They just got, what happened. They just got so condensed.
They just started lifting a bit. But
would you rather guard Wilt Chamberlain in the paint back in the day, or guard guard Dwight Howard back in prime like 2005?
I mean, either way, I'm running away from either.
Either way, you're just getting cooked no matter what. Dude, imagine like we were talking about, just getting in the huddle, and it's like, they probably didn't tell you, but those guys came from their, it's always a joke, they came from their 9-to-5s, right? And then came for their part-time job as playing for like whoever. Imagine getting in the huddle for the first time. It's like, all right, and checks the list, and Austin, you're gonna guard Wilt this game. I'm like, oh man, hey, let's get it, bro. Probably in my head for a second, I'd be like, I could clamp. Like, this is gonna be the game where I show people. Like, my name's going to the history books.
If
as he jumps 55 on my head.
Stuff him at the rim.
Yeah, he goes, and jumps 55 on my head.
I was curious, while we're talking about basketball.
Yeah.
A man by the name of Kyrie Irving. Maybe you've heard of him.
Yeah.
But
oh no, I forgot about this.
But I was wondering, because in the NBA playoffs, if you have home court, if you're the team with home court advantage, then typically, I mean, depending on how long the series goes, but you should have one more home game than your opponent.
Yeah.
If you're the Brooklyn Nets, would you rather have home court advantage, or would you rather
have Kyrie back?
Because the difference, let's say it goes to 7-game series.
Yeah.
You're either, if you have home court advantage, then you're home for 4 of the 7, but you only have Kyrie for 3 of the 7. Or you could not have home court advantage, and that way it would be the other way around. I mean, so what's more important, home court advantage or Kyrie?
That's true. It's like, because you saw when Kyrie was back like a couple games ago, like how amazing the Nets looked again. And it was like, oh, these guys, like, I miss seeing how good Kyrie is. So if I'm the other team that's playing the Nets, I would, before the final, I'm demanding that every player on the court has to have their vaccine status, so Kyrie can't play no matter what. I'm just sitting there, I go,
no, but that's not the NBA doesn't.
Oh, they don't care anymore?
Well, you can play. He can play away games no matter. He'll be able to play away games no matter where he is.
Oh, okay. So it's just, oh, dang, man. Never mind. Bro. There's no way around it.
So he'll play the away games. So it's just, if you're the Nets, would you rather, if it comes down to the seeding being really close, would you rather throw a couple games to get seeded lower so you can have Kyrie for more games because you don't have home court? Because you're wanting to play more away games, right?
Yeah. If you want Kyrie, you're going to have to play more away games.
Unless you,
I guess so. What would you do? Because I'm guessing I would want to take, I wouldn't try to intentionally lose, but I would be happier, I guess, if we had more away games. So Kyrie could play more.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to find their road win percentages, but I would
assume it's greater than being at home, right?
What?
I'd assume their away percentages.
Oh, you mean since Kyrie's been back?
Yeah, since he's been back.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea.
but in the grand scheme of things, right? If you're playing all your finals games away, like more away than home, when it comes down to it, if you win the championship of the year, no one's really going to look at which games are away and which ones are home. They're just going to look at that was a win, right? You had that championship. So I would let's play those away games, man. Let's play with Kyrie.
Yeah, but it'll be very. I mean, the way people look at it will very much be like what games Kyrie played and which ones he didn't. Just because. Okay, so they're this year 12-11 at home, 17-6 on the road.
That's dang, that's a big difference.
Wait, but Kyrie hasn't been back for that long. So a lot of that is they were playing better on the road even without Kyrie.
Maybe we need to play on the way anyways.
So maybe, no matter what, you want to be playing more away games.
So I guess if you're the Nets, you want to play away more. Dang, man, that's so crazy that you play. So please don't put us in Brooklyn.
So you want to come in. I don't know what seed you want to be because you don't want to be like seated at the very bottom where you're playing against the number one seed right away.
Maybe Brooklyn's maybe it's too heat in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? All eyes on you. It's too much pressure. It's like, oh, thankful we're away. Like we're in Oklahoma right now, and you come home and it's just back to the grind, dude. It's just back to Brooklyn.
Yeah, that is really interesting that they're away because I would think basketball
matters more.
Well, I think any sport. I don't know. I think it's got to make a difference in most sports.
I'm definitely one of the people that say home field advantage is a real thing and like it matters. But I know some people say it can't make that big of a difference. But I've seen like when I've been in NFL games and you see the opposing team get loud when the offense is trying to cause a play like that. That definitely makes a difference. That definitely throws things off. Yeah,
with how many times you even see just teams being forced to take timeouts because they can't hear their coach. Or whatever.
That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Maybe basketball is different because it's not as much like the crowd noise. Like it's not actually. It's just more about like the pressure getting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I guess. Which maybe there's some players that I'm sure play better in that they want to like silence the crowd. Or
other things I have to I just thought about. If you're like a big team like the Nets, right, or the Lakers, we have these big superstars everyone knows like KD, Kyrie, LeBron, right? When you go to away games, would you think that there's a big secret fan base there? Like, I'm gonna go watch LeBron play today, and they're kind of say you go to Oklahoma. Do you think there's guys there, like a lot of the fans there, like, yeah, I'm watching LeBron play in my state. Like, I'm gonna root for the Lakers.
Yeah, I think that's true of any player, any team, any sport.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you have, especially with teams that happen to be all over the place. Like people talk about the Dodgers. No matter where you go, there's Dodgers fans.
Yeah.
No matter where you go, there will always be Yankees fans.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
A Yankees game on the road, there will still be a lot of Yankees fans.
It's probably the same thing with the Lakers and the Nets, I'd guess, right? All these big guys, like anywhere you go, there's gonna be guys that love LeBron and are gonna go there to cheer for LeBron.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I remember Tyler's first ever Laker game he went to was LeBron's first season, and it was Kuzma's rookie year. Mm-hmm. He bought a Kuzma jersey, and Tyler still has it in his house. I miss Ty being here. He'll be back soon, but the poor kid, he just looks at the Kuzma jersey sometimes. I miss him. He's one of the only guys I knew that loved Kuzma. I guess you like Kuzma. You're a big Kuzma fan.
I loved Kuzma. I mean, he would have good games and bad games, but now he's
having apparently he's having really good games now.
The Lakers' young core from. For the past few years before LeBron came, they're all doing really good everywhere.
Yeah, so. And it's always the Laker stereotype that as soon as they leave LA, they become superstars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, and you want to talk about the MLB real quick because we got something to talk about. Because apparently, right, we know that the lockout's still happening, but apparently they're meeting tonight or today. I think it might be tonight or tomorrow. But apparently they're meeting again to go over things, which is. Looks like to be a better sign because what I've heard before is that they weren't talking at all. A little sneaky nose. So what I just started watching baseball and stuff is I've been through an NFL lockout with my father and stuff, but in a MLB lockout, would they ever cancel the season because they can't figure it out? It's
happened before, yeah.
Yeah, they just straight up said no season.
They've gone all the way without a World Series before. So
that's so crazy. So,
but I mean, it's still early. So
yeah, you still have a while. But I just because I know the NFL, the NFLPA is very they get it done quick because the players are very open and they say what they want and they're really gonna stick to it. So the NFL owners have to kind of accept what they do. But do MLB players have that much say?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. The MLB Players Association is run by the players, so it's the same thing. It's just them reaching a bargaining agreement with the league.
Yeah. Are you excited for this next season? We're gonna go to some Dodger games. Yeah. He's a little excited. We'll go to some Dodger games. We talked with my dad before. Like, what is the best like NFL games to go to for first starting out? What would be like your one game that you think like fans just getting into the sport should watch? Like a Dodgers Giants game, would you say?
Whatever's on TV. They all hit. Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
they're all good, man. Have you ever been to a World Series game? I did not.
No.
I had one when I was in New York, and we didn't get to go to because those tickets sold out like instantly. I'm just waiting for a Dodgers Yankee one to be so cool though.
Dodgers Yankees World Series would be really cool, but the Yankees.
The Yankee, like, it's so different because the Dodgers, right? They spend money, they do good. Yankees, we spend money, we don't do good. It's so weird. Like, Jarrett Cole, I thought was gonna be amazing, and then
say Jarrett.
Oh, might be Garrett. I said I was watching.
Don't disrespect the way he spells his name. It's a little different, but it's Garrett.
Like Garrett Cole and all these guys, and like giving all this money, they're kind of like the Cowboys, and like there's always that like stereotype where it's like Yankees, Cowboys, Laker fans, right? Like one dude is all three. It's like the ultimate fan. Mm-hmm. It is true, but it's like the Yankees spend all this money and they don't really do much in the off season. Right? No, that's just life of being a New York fan, I guess. Our boy Saul tried to condemn me when I first started watching not sports. When I first started watching the NBA, I was talking to him, I was like, dude, I was like, what team should I be a fan of? This is back when like D'Lo was on the Nets. And I was like, what team should I be a fan of? I went to Nets games, but like the Knicks are so iconic, and I want to pick a New York team because I'm from New York. And he was like, you should really pick the Knicks because it's really going to be good for you. Like, it's so much fun. They're so iconic. I was like, I don't know, man. And then finally I told him I was like the Nets, and then the Knicks went just downhill. I was like, thank you. You tried to legit make me depressed. I'm already a Giants fan, but you tried to make me go further into the depression rabbit hole.
Hey, I mean, maybe. You saw something. You knew that the boys were coming to.
I knew the
that the boys were all going to pull up to Brooklyn.
Yeah, I knew something was adding up. I could feel it.
You said, "Yep." I feel like James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant might all land here.
Yeah. But then, like in the off season, people are like, where are these guys going to go? Where are these guys going to go? And it's like Kyrie and Katie are talking to each other. I'm like, I'm like, where do we think they're going to go? And then like even like Knicks fans, I felt so bad before because there's all those like pictures of like Knicks fans thinking they're gonna get Kyrie and Katie, and then they're gonna draft like Zion, and I was like, oh, they got none of that.
No, I think it's so hilarious to see like just on Instagram or Twitter or wherever, whenever anybody becomes a free agent, like any sport, they become a free agent, and instantly all these photoshops of them and all these.
Yeah, it's so
some of them where I'm like, I don't know. I don't think that's gonna happen. Even
like to Raider fans trying to make me sad. Like they tagged us and it's like whatever happens to the off season. Like Derek's always a Raider. I'm like, he's still got a year in his contract, dude. Can we not talk about this right now? Like, I'm like all these edits of I'm like, did Derek die and I didn't know about it? Or you call him? It's like I'm like texting Derek, like, there's something I don't know about. Like get out there. No, please.
I think that we should add a new segment where you sit there and I just rant to you about sports that you don't watch.
Like
I'd be like, so how about the unranked American almost beating the number 2 tennis player in the world in the Australian Open? How about that? How about Gabriel Medina, the 3 times WSL World Tour champion, dropping off the World Surf League Tour?
I'm just gonna
like, yeah, that sure is crazy. I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah, man. I mean, he was pretty good at what sport? You speak at golf. Golf, surf, tennis, that's it. You just start spitting stuff that I just don't know about. That's what we do anyways, really. We just start talking. I'm like,
no, you could. It would be very easy to pretend like you know about it. But like, yeah, he's a really good surfer. Bummer to not be able to watch him this year.
It really sucks that he's like he's decided that he can't play. Like, do you call it play or what do you call it?
Say play. Yeah, let's play surf. Yeah. He's a really good surf player.
He's a really good player when it comes to surf. He plays right. He plays right wing. What position does he play in surf?
I'm glad you said, yeah, it would be easy, and then you messed up somehow.
What position does he play in surf? Yeah, he plays right tube, you know. He's stellar when it comes to, like, riding the top of the Nar and stuff like that. I need to just get a list of, like, surf words and start saying them. Yeah, Nar, shred.
I should have never mentioned the word shaka around you and Ty.
Oh, he was so excited, dude.
Yeah, when I went surfing with Ty, he was out there in the water just yelling. He'd just yell shaka at me. And half the time he wouldn't even throw up a shaka. He'd just yell, shaka, Noah.
Dude, when we were driving to the road, just people walked by and goes, shaka. He's like, Dad, do good? Dad, do good? I'm like, yeah, Ty, that was really good. That was really sick. Imagine you guys coming back up from surfing when I had my broken hand and like, oh, where'd you go? I'm like, I've just been sleeping in the car, bro, for like 2 hours just waiting for you guys.
Who's winning between the Rams and the Niners?
I'm sorry, Nick, but it's probably going to be the Rams.
you think it's going to be a Rams Super Bowl against who?
Probably Rams Chiefs, I'm guessing. But it's hard. I don't want to root against or for the guys that beat the Raiders, but I can't root for the Chiefs. So Joe Shiesty might have to do it, man.
No, every time I keep seeing all these videos of Joe Burrow, and he's just too.
No, he's too clean sick, with it, bro.
Like it's hard to root against Joe Burrow.
Oh yeah, see what his kicker said? His kicker's so clean.
Oh, his kicker said, looks like we're going to the championship.
Yeah, that was so sick, bro. And he's a rookie. And they all tweet like, that's why you draft rookies. I'm like, yeah, I guess it is.
They said that's why you draft a kicker. I mean, yeah, I guess.
Hey, yeah, man. I guess that's what you want. But yeah, I'm guessing it's gonna be. I don't know. The Niners are so good, but Jimmy G's so terrifying. So I'm gonna guess. If they didn't have Jimmy G, but I'm guessing it's gonna be Rams Chiefs. What do you think?
I'll say Rams.
Rams Chiefs is gonna be high scoring.
I think Rams for sure.
Yeah.
all the Niners boys listening. I'm sorry.
It's so sad now.
But I'm saying Rams. It's sick that they get to host at their own stadium.
Yeah. Oh,
they can maybe be like the Bucks, win at their own.
Remember when the Bucks were the away team at their own stadium, which is kind of sick to me.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that they had to be in their away locker room, which is so funny to me, bro.
They're like, this is where the other team is hanging out.
Yeah. So what do you think? Thinking Rams, Chiefs?
No, I can't say Chiefs.
You go Rams,
Bengals. I think. I mean,
who do you think takes the dub then?
What?
Bangies or Rams?
Oh, the Rams.
Yeah.
The Rams would be my ideal Super Bowl was Rams Bills, but But alas,
I mean, it was a great game though.
Sucked.
Yeah, it was a great game though.
If only that coin landed a little differently. If only the referee flipped it a little differently, then we could be looking at a completely different playoffs.
There's someone out there just went. Just like,
yeah, whoever was the captain should have just gone.
And so the thing about it is like they sent usually teams send 3 guys. The last Raider games, we've sent like 1 dude out there every time, and it stresses me out. Like we send 1 guy for the kickoff. I don't know. Matter? We sent 1 guy out there, and it's like I think like Alec Ingold did it once. I was like, yeah, man.
Yeah, Alec Ingold did it for a long time because he was captain, right? Mm-hmm. He's been a captain. Yeah. R.I.P. He'll be back next year though.
R.I.P.
Bro, people forget that man. People forget that man just hops over
hurdles
defenders.
People, bro.
He just be hopping and running.
He's cleaner than Saquon right now, just hurdling people, man.
Cleaner than the whole league, bro. Best fullback in the league. It's not even close.
Hey, sign him, bro. Give him that 9-year deal, whatever.
Give him all the deals, man. Give him whatever he wants. Give him the ownership of. I don't know if I could say that. Give him ownership of the Raiders.
Give him a kiss by me. What if you're signing your contract and you're looking and you're like signing for the Raiders? It's like, yeah, there's been much money. A kiss from Austin, and he's like, or a kiss from Mark Davis, and snuggles with Derek. Derek's like, he's in his PJs.
This is Hunter.
And snuggle wuggles. That's what I would demand. I was like $20 million and snuggle wuggles.
We've talked about how some people or some athletes have like portions of their contract that go to like crypto or whatever.
Did you see Odell's contract?
What if it goes to V-Bucks?
Oh, did you see Odell's contract
because Odell did it in Bitcoin. His contract was in Bitcoin.
And they said he's made $30,000 this season.
There's no way that's
after taxes, bro.
Because his crypto is down, right?
It's down like $20,000.
Oh, OBJ, no.
$20,000 and then 50% tax in California.
The worst part is that when he signed that, he was like, "This thing's going to the moon."
Yeah. That's so funny, dude. He's like yes.
Bro, I say all the time about one of my tennis coaches when I back in my young tennis days would tell all of us, "Hey, remember you guys should invest in Bitcoin." And we're like, "What?" And then I looked at $700. That's way too expensive, bro. I'm not gonna invest in that.
Bro, you could have been. Where could we have been right now? Huh? What could the studio have looked like? We could pay.
We would have a life-size Jamarcus Russell instead of a
real David Carr to sit there and just stand there. We just have a much.
How much could we pay DC How much would it cost for him to just stand there one episode?
Dude, even if
not say a word. No, if he says a word, we like throw stuff at him.
Even if we could get in there for just a couple seconds, so it cuts to
I can edit
fake, and then it's him.
Thanks for tuning in, boys. Make sure to subscribe.
Thank you, everybody.
Follow us on all the socials.
Everywhere.
And tell all your friends so that we can feed our families.
And if you like the stuff you see here, we're on TikTok. We post videos every day. On Twitter, we are just posting stuff. I'm stealing tweets from our friends and tweeting them everywhere, man. Whatever you guys, if you like more content from us, go follow us there too.
All your professional athlete friends, tell them to hop on the pod.
All your professional athlete friends. I got a chair. I got a little chair right here. Davante Adams. Come on, man. Let's talk about your Raiders contract.
So what do you think of this?
Y'all want me to do Kanye West, so here's bound to.
Dude,